Have you ever looked around and wondered how some people seem to be moving forward so fast while they're doing everything you can just to stay in the same place? You watch people build businesses, transform their bodies, learn new skills, create opportunities, change their lives. And meanwhile, you keep telling yourself, my time will come. But then another month passes, then another year, and deep down a question starts to appear. What if I'm doing something wrong? Not something obvious, not something dramatic, something small, something we repeat every day, because the truth is this. Most people don't ruin their lives with one catastrophic decision. They ruin their lives with tiny mistakes repeated thousands of times. Small mistakes, invisible mistakes, comfortable mistakes. The kind that feel normal, the kind everyone else is making too, and that's exactly why they are dangerous. Today we are uncovering the 7 daily mistakes keeping you stuck while everyone else moves ahead. And I need you to stay until the end, because mistake number 7 is a silent killer of dreams. It's a mistake that destroys more futures than failure ever could. Let's begin. Mistake number 1. You start every day in reaction mode. Let me ask you a question. What's the first thing you do after waking up? For most people, the answer is painfully predictable. Phone, notification, messages, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, email. Before they've even taken a full breath, their attention belongs to somebody else. Think about how strange is this. You haven't decided what matters today, you haven't chosen your priorities, you haven't thought about your goals. Yet you are already allowing hundreds of strangers, companies, influencers, and algorithms to dictate where your focus goes. It's like waking up every morning and handing a stranger the steering wheel of your life, and wondering why you're lost. The first hour of your day is prime mental real estate. Your mind is fresh, your attention is powerful, your brain is highly receptive. But most people spend that precious time consuming instead of creating. They start the day reacting instead of leading, and that decision follows them for next 16 hours. Because attention is like water, where it flows, growth follows. The people who move ahead understand this. They protect their mornings. They don't immediately open the floodgates. They think, they plan, they learn, they create. And because they control their attention, they slowly gain control of their future. Mistake number 2. Waiting to feel ready. This mistake sounds harmless, but it destroys potential on a massive scale. People are waiting everywhere. Waiting to start the business, waiting to lose weight, waiting to write the book, waiting to launch the channel, waiting to apply for the opportunity, waiting for confidence, waiting for motivation, waiting for certainty, and while they're waiting, life keeps moving. Here is something most people never realize. The successful people doesn't feel ready either. They're scared, they're uncertain, they're nervous. The difference is that they move anyway. Because confidence isn't something you find, it's something you build. And you build it through action. Think about riding a bicycle. You don't become confident and then ride. You ride and become confident. You don't become confident in public speaking and then step on stage. You step on stage and become confident. Action creates confidence. Action creates momentum. Action creates proofs. The people who move ahead understand that clarity comes from movement, not thinking. If you wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting forever. Mistake number 3. Confusing activity with progress. This one is incredibly common. You feel busy, you answer messages, attend meetings, watch productivity videos, organize your desk, create color-coded plans, make endless to-do lists, and at the end of the day you feel exhausted. But then a painful question appears. What did I actually accomplish? Being busy feels productive, but being busy and making progress are completely different things. Imagine running on a treadmill for 10 hours. You'll be exhausted, you'll sweat, you'll work hard, but you'll still be in exactly the same place. That's how many people live. Motion without progress, activity without results. The people who move ahead ask a different question. Not what should I do today? Instead, what if the one thing that moves my life forward? One important task, one meaningful step, one significant action. Because 1 hour spent on the right things beats 10 hours spent on the wrong things. Every single time. Mistake number 4. Escaping discomfort. Modern life has made discomfort optional, and that's a problem. Feeling bored? Scroll. Feeling stressed? Watch something. Feeling anxious? Distract yourself. Feeling lonely? Open another app. Need to sin? Consume more content. We have become experts at escaping discomfort. But here is a problem. Discomfort is where growth lives. The uncomfortable workout, the difficult conversation, the scary opportunity, the challenging project, the awkward first attempt. That's where transformation happens. Every version of your future self is hiding behind something uncomfortable. And every time you run from discomfort, you run from becoming that person. The strongest people aren't stronger because life is easier for them. They're stronger because they developed a better relationship with discomfort. They stopped seeing discomfort as danger. They start seeing it as evidence that they are growing. Mistake number 5. Comparing your life to everyone else. Social media creates a game nobody can win, because you are comparing your entire life to someone's best moments. You see the success, but not the struggle. You see the result, but not the years of work. You see the celebration, but not the sacrifice. And slowly, you begin to believe a lie, that everyone else is ahead. Everyone else has it figured out. Everyone else is winning. But here is the reality. Everyone is fighting battles you can't see. Everyone is insecure about something. Everyone has doubts. Everyone struggles. The difference is that social media rarely shows the full story. Comparison steals focus, and focus creates results. Every minute spent comparing is a minute not improving. Every moment spent envying someone else's journey is a moment stolen from your own. The only comparison that matters is this. Are you better than you were 6 months ago? Are you growing? Are you improving? Are you moving forward? That's the scoreboard that actually matters. Mistake number 6. Breaking promises to yourself. This mistake is silent. Nobody sees it happen. But its effects are devastating. You tell yourself you'll wake up early, you don't. You'll go to the gym, you don't. You'll stop procrastinating, you don't. You'll start tomorrow, you don't. And something dangerous begins happening. Your brain starts collecting evidence. Evidence that your words don't mean anything. Evidence that your promises aren't trustworthy. Evidence that you're someone who quits. Then people wonder why they lack confidence. Confidence isn't built by motivational quotes. Confidence isn't built by positive affirmations. Confidence is built by self-trust. And self-trust comes from keeping promises. Small promises, teeny promises, promises nobody else sees. Drink the water, take the walk, read the pages, do the workout, finish the task. Because every promise kept is a vote for the person you are becoming, and every promise broken is a vote for the person you are trying to leave behind. Mistake number 7. Believing you have more time. This is the biggest mistake, and the saddest, because almost everyone makes it. People act like life is unlimited, like there will always be another chance, another month, another year, another opportunity. Someday I'll start, someday I'll change, someday I'll go after my dream, someday I'll become who I want to be. But someday is a dangerous word, because someday turns into next year. Next year turns into 5 years. 5 years turns into a decade. And one day you wake up wondering where all the time went. Here is the difficult truth. The next 5 years are coming whether you are ready or not. The calendar doesn't care. Time keeps moving. The question is simple. When those 5 years arrive, who will you be? Will you be stronger, smarter, healthier, closer to your goals? Or will you still be waiting for the perfect moment? The people who move ahead understand something powerful. They understand that time is the only resource that never comes back. Money can return, opportunities can return, energy can return, time cannot. That's why they act. Not because they're fearless, not because they're special, but because they know tomorrow is never guaranteed. None of these mistakes look dangerous. That's what makes them dangerous. They're small, comfortable, normal, easy to justify, but repeated every day they quietly shape your future. The good news? The opposite is also true. Small positive actions repeated daily can completely transform your life. Protect your attention. Take action before you feel ready. Focus on a meaningful progress. Embrace discomfort. Stop comparing. Keep promises to yourself. Respect your time. Because one day you'll look back on this chapter of your life and you'll either be proud that you started changing today, or you'll wish you had. Your future is being built right now. Not next week, not next month, not next year. Right now. The question is, what are you building?